Hi guys, Stacy here, and today we're at the SAB factory and we're going to talk about the all-new ILGOBLIN 700. This past weekend at Rotor Life, we unveiled the all-new ILGOBLIN 700, but today we want to talk about the more technical features of the machine, starting with the rotor head. We have basically an entirely new rotor head design. Starting with the grips, we have new blade grip washers. There's a small lip on the washer itself to make it self-aligning. So when you install the blades, it's a lot easier. You don't have to line up the blade grip washers as they will align themselves. We have an all-new blade grip design with a groove in the grip for the blade grip arm. So when you go to install the arm, there is no chance for play or lateral movement. Moving down, we have new mixing arms. The arms are overall much larger with larger bearings inside, so that when you tighten the screw, mounting it to the head block, there is no chance for play. Especially over time, this is going to be really nice for no play after many flights. Moving down to the swash plate, we have a new design with improved geometry. The distance here for the main linkage was moved out. This will make the aircraft feel more aggressive and more agile in the air. So in the past, if you use the 26mm arms on the Raw 700 or the Kraken, you don't need to do that anymore because the increased distance here will make it feel more agile. All of this is installed on a 15mm main shaft that I have here. The 15mm main shaft will increase rigidity and the bearings for it will have a longer lifespan because there's no chance for play or any sort of movement at all. For the main gear, we're now using two M4 bolts to attach the main gear to the main shaft, as you can see here. There's two bolts holding the main gear, so there's no chance for play. It's more reliable and more redundant overall. For the servo mount, we are now using two vertically mounted M3 bolts. So if you have to remove the front two servos for maintenance, or if you want to change the servo horn, change the servos, or anything you need to do, you just remove these two screws from the top and the whole mount will come off. The blade grips are also much lighter. They have a new look to them and they are lighter overall, saving weight on the rotor head itself. Moving down a bit further, we now have a third bearing support for the secondary shaft. The reason for this is on the Raw 700, there was only two bearings supporting the secondary shaft, so that when you have the motor belt pulling on the secondary shaft, as well as the tail belt, it can create some friction and the rotor head can be a bit tight to turn. But now, with the third bearing support, the head can turn much freer and the preload for the secondary shaft is perfect. So now when you do an auto, it'll be a lot easier. Now, let's talk about the tail rotor. We've completely redesigned the tail for this machine with many upgrades. Starting with the tail shaft, we decided to go with an 8mm tail shaft, which is going to be better for vibrations, it's going to run smoother, as well as the bearings on the tail shaft are much larger. They will last longer, better lifetime, and just improve the performance overall. We also decided to go with a bearing system mounted just in front of the tail pulley. With this, you can run a looser tail belt tension, but it is increasing the tension at the tail pulley for better engagement. The tail blade grips also have a new design to match the SAB look and look really nice. At Rotor Live, we got a lot of questions about both machines. And to be perfectly clear, they're both just prototypes. So the final version of both machines will have very different colors, very different color schemes. What we have here is just for testing. Same for the landing gear. These are just landing gears for us to test with. They will be white for both machines in the final version. Also, the tail servo mounting position for the ILGOBLIN will be moved underneath the boom. This is just for us to get in the air quickly and start testing the more important components. So the servo will be moved underneath. It'll look a lot better overall. These two machines are just prototypes and everything will look a lot different for production. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and please stay tuned to our Facebook and our YouTube pages.